I was working on the bamboo in the last video, and I didn't have a pot for that last piece until I did. This pot was sitting empty. I was going to put turmeric in it. That's what was in it last year. But I really love this bamboo here. It's perfect. This is that interesting piece of bamboo that I pulled out. I kept 2 from the root. The rest of the root is in the burn barrel. There's some doozies. There's a lot of digging involved. Keep digging underneath the root and pulling until we get to the end of the root. The roots are just as hard as bamboo is for wood. I wouldn't have known that if I wouldn't have been digging it up. But there are these little shoots here where the bamboo is going to come up. I saved 2. And they will stay in a pot. I guess I don't hate it. Still. Gorgeous. I brought some of my squashes out last night in preparation for planting. Squash family in general is the end of May, beginning of June in Michigan. But the ideal soil temperature is 60. It's not showing up. So we're exactly where we should be. It's the very end of May. Ground temperature 60. I'm gonna plant. I like to plant my squash along the fence. It usually climbs. Got marigolds in yesterday. Only had 8. So I put 4 on each long fence line. Nice to have pop color. The pests that it's supposed to detour just kind of laugh at me. Like, that's gonna work. So Carnival is a pretty decorative squash, really tasty. I think it has another name too. Delicious or something. Pie pumpkin. I had pie pumpkins going crazy in this corner last year. They completely engulfed this whole fence line and up the trellis and over. Did the same thing on the other side. Carnival, squash, and a pumpkin in the far corner. That is all the squash that the fence line can handle. So I have another one in the Carnival family by another name. It is called Delicious. Another really pretty squash. Really tasty. I'm putting them out here. And I had them out here last year. I had an acorn and a delicious, and they grew up the trellis. The big fat leaves were in the way, so I didn't know if I wanted to do it again. But limited space, I'm going to squeeze them in with the berries. Got blackberries in the middle on both sides. 1 acorn and 1 butternut. They can creep the garden and help keep the soil protected from the hot, dry sun in the summer. Like a mulch. I planted the time that I wintered in the greenhouse. I don't know how many years. It was cut back pretty good because it's so woody. Not a good survival rate. I had several and I had propagations. So survival rate wasn't great. That's gonna be so pretty. Sage. One that survived winter outside. It's gonna be a good looking piece. I moved the U out and it's perfect. Worth doing. If you plant something and it's not perfect, you know, redo it. It's worth it. I went ahead and planted the cucumbers at the end of the day when I finished with the other squashes. Ran into my daughter in the evening and she's like, she really wants cucumbers and wants to access the garden more. And beans was the other one. So in my experience with this garden in the last few years, plants disappear. I don't know what happens to them. They fizzle out. So as a precaution, although I planted cucumbers, I'm seeding them again as a backup in case something goes wrong between now and a month from now. I'll have fresh starts. We're back to trellises. Whenever I say we, I mean Rick. I always say we. I don't know why. He's out here working his butt off, and I include myself in it.
Trusses for chicken run.
These are the trusses for the chicken run. And they're different. They're just a wee bit different. This ceiling is going to be
7 feet.
It's 7 feet. What, after you put the insulation and ceiling in?
Yep.
Okay. So that's the difference. Insulation and there's going to be a ceiling. You won't see these trusses. But in the run, you will see the trusses. They'll be exposed. And they'll be pretty. I think brown's the color we're going with, right? So the same brown as this trellis is going to be over here with all the woodwork. And the fence is black. What's that fencing called?
Hardware cloth.
Hardware cloth is black. So with the brown wood and the black screen, it'll kind of disappear.
PVC coated.
PVC coated. So I cleaned out the corner. I pulled out a bunch of oregano and catmint. Crystal's got catmint hanging in her kitchen, drying. And I gave a bunch to the chickens. And then I started thinking about my garden over the last couple years, and a lot of times I'll plant this stuff and I'll be all excited, and then at some point it disappears or fizzles out. It's another cucumber. So I'm replanting the things that are important that we need for food. Beans. I just did the cucumbers. I reseeded cucumbers. And I seeded beans and they have not come up. I might have bad seeds. I have another pack that I saved from the garden. I'm going to start those today. Lettuce settled in really good. It's pretty. This is the milk jug sown one. And I harvested lettuce for me and my daughter last night. At the end of the day. You can see just the corner. So the garden needs to feed 2 families. And we eat similar things, not exactly the same thing, but peppers, that's the other thing that we eat a lot of. I saved this seed for the beans. I left them in little pods. Label it and water it. Ground cherries. There's only one last time I showed them to you. Now there's like 5. So there we go. Felt like the peppers were kind of stunted, but they look like they're starting to pop now. That's supposed to be, I'll get down here closer. There's some onions popping up. Those are the red onions. So those seeds were good. And this is supposed to be a Walla Walla, and there's weeds coming up. This is not an onion. So maybe the Walla Walla seeds just aren't any good. I don't think onion seeds keep well, and I do think I read that. I'm not just saying that off the top of my head. That's my experience, but I think I read it because I was having problems with onions. So I have tons of tomatoes here. Oh my gosh, this one got too tall. This one can't be here anymore. Oh Lord, did you see that? Looks okay. It's fine. That's the one that tipped over. I added some dirt to it. I have dirt in my watering can. I have to clean that out because it'll plug the holes. And this one was the one that flopped over. I'll give it a little rusting stick. They strengthen once they're outside. I don't want to put any more outside with the temperatures getting ready to fall. So I was in here for a reason. What was I in here for? Just chatting about stuff, and I had a plan before I came out here. So these are the geranium starts, propagations, and I want to get them out. After the 41, I will plant them, and then I can start putting more stuff out. That one's big, that can stay there. Another small one in the back. This is a wintered one. It's a little bigger and it's fatter because it's not a propagation. This is white geranium. And you can tell this variegation in the leaf is starting to come out better because of the light difference. They were in the house. Guess I do want this one here too. Off camera, I'll have to put trays under there. I have some down here. underneath. Okay, so those I'm getting ready for planting. The geraniums. That's my geranium collection. I don't know if I'll buy more. Is 4 enough? I don't know. I got 2 matchy, so mess is cleaned up. I'm noticing that this shelf is not getting enough circulation. I have a fan over here. And I think I just need to turn it. And I have a fan up here that I turned off because it was blowing on me while I was working. Freed up some room on the shelf. I didn't have any green peppers, so I did buy a couple peppers. Things are not drying up in here because the weather's humid and wet. So some of these pots that you don't want to stay wet, these little cups with these little delicate plants, they're staying too wet. I have room, so I could put some of my smaller plants. This is a shrimp plant seedling. That's the flower head that the seeds came out of. It's a tropical. Has to be wintered. It winters well in house, actually. Pretty peppers. Now, ideally, and I see a lot of people do this on gardening channels, when they have young plants like this that they're putting outside or transplanting or, you know, they're rooting in, they take the fruit off. I'm not going to do that. This tomato was a volunteer. It came up in the winter. It's an heirloom. So you can tell once the fruit's on the plant. You can tell what they are. And there's a couple wintered peppers. Don't look great. Probably take the fruit off of this one. See, I'm itching to get everything back outside in the ground. This one's really small wintered pepper that's flowering. I mean, I don't have to keep the fruit on all of them, but you should ideally take the fruit off. I'm just not going to with all of them. The houseplant that I wintered that was looking really crummy, this purple heart, really has bounced back. I propped the fan up a little bit. Need to bring it up higher, but anyway, things are moving now, which is what I was going for. Circulation. I was thinking about squeezing the geraniums in this one, because these are going to burn out. Let's tuck them in right here. They can take over. Those orange and yellow ones, what are they called? Can't remember now. They could go in here too. They're headed for a pot. Oh, speaking of a pot. I took it out of the basement. I think I have a spot for it. See this hole in the cottage garden in the middle? I think the hollyhock that was there died out. I lost a couple of hollyhocks. Oh, there's my friendly snake. I'll have to level it before I put any dirt in it. And I have a black one. So I'm going to bring the black one out and try the 2 colors before I make a decision. Lemongrass, I couldn't really find a place to put it, the new one. But I think that's the thing. This doesn't have really any grass. No, there's no grasses in here that belong in here. So I'll get the black one. I think the black one's taller, and it might look better next to the white. I like black. Because of the construction, these flowers aren't really being shown well. Too much stuff stuck over here. I like these flowers though, and they have beautiful seed heads. I meant to use those during the winter, but I didn't really do any of that sort of project. Cleaned out the spot and found a big strawberry. With the yard critters, I don't know if it'll still be here when it's ripe. But I can't pick it. It's not good. Not there yet, but it's big. It's huge. Did some cleaning up back there. Planted some sage. And I'm gonna call it for this video. Look how pretty everything's getting. Oh my goodness. My gardening heart is singing up a storm. See y'all around.